Hi everybody, Sanbonani. Welcome to my channel. Kamala Montano Mleje, and on this channel, Mama reality TV shows, I'm a celebrities, my YouTubers. If it's your first time joining me today and you really like my content, do not forget to press the subscribe button, and a notification bell. Listen, you guys, our artists are going through the most, but it looks like they're recovering well and getting back to work. Okay, DJ Black Coffee was reported to be back at home, and there were even pictures that have been taken of him being spotted somewhere wearing a neck brace. He is walking, so he looks like he might have just injured his neck, so he's back home. But the journalists are still trying to find out what really happened with that accident. So Zimoja has written an article where they are trying to give a little bit of like more details as to what is being reported to be the cause of it, the accident. And also, you guys, Lvovo is saying that after 2 hard years, he is back at work. Remember, in 2022, he had a really hard year because he had a car accident and spent time in the hospital. Then he had a stroke in December and had to cancel gigs during the season where the artists are the busiest. So now he is saying, listen, I'm back at work now. I'm well enough to be back at work, and we're happy that he made it, you guys. There was a time, I don't want to lie, when Mampinja passed away, and they were saying that he had also collapsed on stage and was in the hospital, not doing so well. I thought that something, the worst was going to happen to him. So I'm glad that he is well. Lvovo back in studio after 2 year break. Kwaito. Star Lvovo at Derango has returned to the studio after 2 long years following a car crash and suffering a stroke. Real name Thokozani Ndlovu, the 43-year-old artist who is known for his unique blend of kwaito, house, and hip hop music, was involved in the car crash early in 2022 and suffered a stroke in December of the same year. Listen, you guys, I'm always shocked by these people's ages. Okay, Lvovo is 43 years old. Okay, I'll be thinking like 55 or something. In May 2022, Lvovo spent 2 months in hospital with a fractured hip after the car accident. He said that he had to attend physiotherapy to learn how to walk again after the accident. He was involved in an accident with a tipper truck while he was driving home alone about 30 kilometers away from his mother's house. At this time, the Guido star said the truck drove onto oncoming traffic and smashed his vehicle. When still on the road to recovery in December of the same year, Lvovo suffered a minor stroke during a performance at Indwedwe in KZN. And listen, you guys, it might have happened that maybe he went back to work too soon at that time, because this was after he had spent like 2 months in the hospital. He was talking about how he had to relearn to walk. Okay. And then he was back at work and then he had a stroke. He spent 3 weeks in hospital. He told Zimoja that he was forced to cancel all of the scheduled performances and take a break from music to focus on his recovery and calling to be a sangoma. Listen, you guys. You know, every celebrity has a calling to be a sangoma. One day, I want to understand that one. Okay, I do want to understand why everybody is suddenly becoming a sangoma. But now Lvovo is back and ready to make music once again. He spoke about his journey to recovery and his excitement to be back in the studio. It's been a tough 2 years for me, but I'm grateful to be alive and well. And Vovo says, we're grateful with you. Music has always been my passion, and I'm excited to be back doing what I love. He said, speaking to Zimoja, he says he's planning to call his album God's Plan. I think the title explains itself. He gushes. Lvovo says, during the time he sat at his home doing nothing, he learned so many things, but most importantly, to know which friends are for him. I learned that there is nothing that beats family and their life. Listen, you guys, I think that's the thing when you go through a hard time, that's a difficult thing when it comes to friends, because not every friend shows up for you. But at the same time, you guys, when you're going through something, you can't really expect every person to stop what they're doing and just focus on you. But it does make you see kind of, okay, who's my friend and who is not. But you can't also judge people harshly, because there's people are dealing with their own stuff. I also learned that there are real friends and just friends who are there for fun. He says he did not want to rush himself and decided to stay and fully recover. I'm glad I did not rush the process. Now that I am in the right state of mind, also physically, I am fine and ready to work and busy again. asked who took care of him financially during the break, he said, "Luckily, I had saved up some cash, but with the help of friends and family, I managed to get by." This is not the first time he says this, you guys, that he did have money put away. So that money helped him during these 2 years. Lvovo is no stranger to the music industry, having released several hit songs after years, including Resista, Ama Tintin, Amang Sukela. He also collaborated with popular South African artists, including Mampinta Professor and DJ Tira. While he didn't reveal any specific details about the upcoming music, he did hint that he's been working with the likes of DJ Maporisa, Sexman Twini, Master KG, Danger, and many more. "I've been in the studio and there's definitely new music coming," Lvovo said, adding, "I can't wait for my fans to hear it." Listen, you guys, I'm glad that he's back on his feet, okay? Now let's get on to the story seeker DJ Black Coffee and find out, okay, what Zimocha has found out as far as this accident is concerned, you guys. Listen, I'm going to read it for you. I don't know if you will understand it the way that I understood it, but I'm only going to read the part where they are talking about the details of the accident. I'm not going to read the parts where they are talking about what had happened to him, how the family issued a state, how his team had issued a statement, because we have read that a number of times. Here is what is suspected to have happened to Black Coffee. This is a story on Zimoja by Ukama Dayila. So in the beginning of the article, they just talk about the stuff that we already know. Okay. So they're saying here now, trying to explain what happened with the accident, what they found out about the accident. It says here it was not clear what happened, but according to Aero Inside, the airplane experienced a hard landing and tail struck that allegedly led to DJ being injured. It also was reported to have touched down on Mar del Plata runway and suffered a tail strike. According to the Aviation Herald, the aircraft rolled out without further incident. There were reported injuries. The aircraft sustained substantial damage. It sounds to me like the plane was damaged more than the people were injured. Okay, but we don't care much about the airplane. It's the people that we care about. Argentina JST, which is the Transport Safety Board, rated the occurrence an accident and opened an investigation. The airline also reported that passengers and crews disembarked safely after the hard landing. According to the International Civil Aviation Organization, flight crashes are rare as opposed to car crashes. Flight crashes and accidents are usually due to pilot error. There is like 60 to 80%, bad weather, that's 10 to 20%, and mechanical malfunctions, 10 to 20%. Turbulence is not necessarily strong enough to cause structural damage. It is reported that air travel is the safest mode of transportation, particularly true when the commercial airline with the commercial airline flight. Listen, you guys, I think they don't want people to stop flying. Okay, they're like, listen, we know this accident happened here, but you can still book your air tickets. Okay. They're trying to make sure that you do that. Anyway, you guys, we're glad Break Coffee is safe and Lvovo is back at work. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, you guys, for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.